Hello friends, you're welcome back. My name is DK. Today we want to talk about variables in Python 3. By the end of this class, you're going to know what variables really are in Python 3 and how to make single and multi-line variable assignment. Here I'm in interactive Python shell ideally, and I have just one line of code that says variables in Python. I commented it out. So what is a variable in Python 3? In a layman's language, a variable is a storage box, which can be empty, have something stored in it, and also subject to change its content at any time. It is a reserved memory location to store values. So when you create variables, you reserve some space in the memory. The syntax for single variable assignment is this. I have a variable name. Then I will have an equality sign. Then I have a value at the right hand side. Well, at this point, I want to explain something. On the left hand side, I have the variable name. This is the variable name. On the right hand side, I have the value assigned to the variable. Then in between the two, I have an equality sign, which is the assignment operator. So the equality sign is an assignment operator in Python. So in as much as I have this, remember Python is a high-level object-oriented programming language. So we don't really have variable assignment but object reference. So here I can call it an object reference, the variable name, and at the right hand side I can call it an object having a value. Just have it at the back of your mind that this particular statement here can be said to be an object reference equal to an object. Later on in this tutorial series, you get to understand what I mean. But for now, just have it this the variable name equal to a value. Alright, so now let me clean up this. And let's go ahead and write some series of single variable assignment statements in Python. So if I type x is equal to Python, then I move to the next line. I have y is equal to let's do Java, then z is equal to, let's call it C#. So these three lines of code are each single variable assignment. I assigned an object having the value Python to a variable named x. Here an object having the value Java to a variable named y. The same thing here. To prove our claim, I will go ahead and print the variable names to the screen. So on the next line, if I say print, open and close my brackets, and I fill in x and I hit enter, you can see that actually x contains the value Python, and now it has printed to the screen. The same way, if I print in front of the prompt again, I print y contains Java. If I print z contains C#. Now you see that a variable is actually an object that contains a value. Alright, I can still print the three of them at the same time. I can say print x, y, z, and you can see with spaces I've printed Python, Java, and C#. Now you believe that X, Y, and Z truly contain these great programming languages of all time. So at this point, I want to clear up something, which is this. Variable names in Python 3 have some limitations. What did I mean? It must begin with a letter or an underscore, then followed by a non-white space letters, numbers, or underscores. So what I mean, in as much as we've made this assignment here, variable x, y, and z, we are not just that free to choose any name at all. The name must start with a letter, of course, which must be the one defined by Unicode, including ASCII or an underscore. So if I declare a variable like this, maybe down here I would say I want to call this variable at web. I call it a variable and I say is equal to PHP. Okay, and I hit enter. So when I hit enter, you can see an error. It says syntax error, invalid syntax. And what it's simply saying is that this is not a valid variable name. Okay, if I say maybe here I will say too, I can call it too much, doesn't really matter. Then I would assign it to this sweet language called CXX and I hit enter. The same syntax error. It's saying that too much is not a valid variable name because it didn't start with an underscore or a letter. Remember, a variable name must start with an underscore. Maybe I can say C underscore language. This is a valid variable name. I can assign it to anything. I can say call it, okay, let me call this guy C++. Okay, so it's a valid variable name. If I move to the next line, nothing happens because it started with a letter. So I can start with underscore. I can say now or nothing. I can assign it to anything at all. I can assign it to maybe sync. It doesn't really matter. And I move to the next line. It's fine. So the golden rule is that ensure that your variable name begins with letters or underscores and avoid space in your variable names. So avoid space. I can't assign a variable like maybe x space me. It doesn't really make sense. So there mustn't be space in between the words of a variable. Make sure you link them with maybe an underscore or maybe dash, make sure they are together. All right, so that is the golden rule for variable assignment. Okay, having done that, we continue now. Okay, now for multiple variable assignment, if I type something like a comma b comma c and I will set it equal to 3 strings, I can call this Python. Okay, now I separate with comma as well and I call the other one Java, then comma, and I call the other one C#. Okay, and I move to the next line. Oh, there's a space here which shouldn't be. So I'll copy this line of code, permit me, and I'll paste. I move to the next line. Fine, there was a space there. So we are in this line, remember this particular line here. So a comma b comma c is equals to Python comma Java comma C#. Then the next line I try to print out, capital letter. I try to print out a. So you see that a has Python. So that means in this multiple line variable assignment, a maps to Python, b maps to Java, and c maps to C#, all in the same line. So that means if I print out just the way we print out XYZ, if I print out a comma b comma c and I hit enter, I have the 3 great languages printed to the screen. So that is multiple variable assignment. You can assign them the multiple variables this way. Okay, so now on the next line I want to do something. If I reassign something, I say x is equal to, let's go ahead and give it Python. Maybe down here I would say y is equals to x, and maybe z is equals to y, and maybe I try printing out xyz again, x comma y comma z. Now you see I have Python. So what does it mean? In as much as you can assign values to variables, they are subject to change their content. Remember when I defined variable in a layman language, it says they are objects that you can be empty, can contain values, and is subject to change its values. So here x is Python. Remember here x was Python, y Java, z C#. And here I reassign these variables. X remain Python, but this time y is containing x. Do you understand? So x is equal to y. So y is no longer pointing to Java, but it's pointing to whatever x is pointing to, which is Python. Y z is pointing to whatever y is pointing to. And of course, remember y was pointing at Python, so z is pointing at Python as well. So when I printed xyz, it turned out to be pointing at the same object, Python. So hooray, Python is the king. Alright guys, that is variable for you in Python 3. Thank you for joining us, and bye for now.